Well, hello, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And today I can't show my face. I had a Zoom this morning and I have somehow changed my face camera. And so we're just going to go with what's here versus being late and jumping on. And hopefully you'll forgive me and we'll figure out kind of what needs to go on to get things back to the way they were, but I don't want to be sideways, and that's how it was looking as I was getting on just now. And so with that, you don't need to see me, and we will jump into it. Today I'm wanting to share a fun, simple card. This is not a fun fold. Simple card using some sneak peek items. You've probably seen them because demonstrators have been able to pre-order if they are attending a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator only event this 2 weeks from Saturday, well, a week from Saturday, called Creativity Now. And it's using the Peace on Earth suite. I think that's the name of the suite. But it has a wonderful photopolymer stamp set. I've got one of them already out, but it's a photopolymer stamp set. Really neat images and some great dies, a couple label dies and then some other assorted dies. We're going to use just the doves today. And it has all kinds of other coordinating products. And I didn't pull out the scrapbooking option, but there is actually a scrapbook kit that actually coordinates with this set as well. But if you did the suite, which you'll be able to order, I believe it's in September. It's a September to December mini catalog that this is from. It also has a embossing folder, which I'm going to use. Coordinating products are some gorgeous ribbon. This is Misty Moonlight with a silver kind of edge. And some embellishments. They're look to me like flowers or stars in variegated blues. And so, Secret Sea, which is a new in color, Misty Moonlight, and Cloud Cover, which is a new in color. And they call them, yes, hues of blue flowers. And then this gorgeous designer series paper. I'm going to use this print because I'm going to make a sympathy card, and I thought it worked the best. It's got a nice patterned background. I'll just pull out the first couple. Again, you probably have seen these because I know other demonstrators have been showing some card ideas they've come up with it. Kind of looks like hydrangea to me, and then some stars on the back. And that one I already showed you because that's the one I'm using. Then some pretty dove paper. It's on Secret Sea, and then it's got pretty kind of a leaf background, very simple. And then I think there are two more. Yes, two more. One has this as the back, and then some pretty leaves, really subtle. That'd be pretty as well. And finally, one here. Whoops, as I flip stuff around, it's got a pretty leaf and branch background, and then some very muted. And then I want to make sure to get these put away. So pardon me for a moment. Don't want to munch them up. Well, maybe I'll munch them up anyway. All right. I'll get them in here enough. There we go. Get that out of the way. And then there also is some glimmer paper. And it has, is it 3 different pieces? I haven't even opened it. It has in this, actually quite a little bit. And so you get a blue, Secret Sea, and this looks like Cloud Cover. So you get the 3 different, 2 of each, and 12 by 12 size. which is great. So we're going to get that out of the way. So all of the supplies will be listed in the description of the YouTube that will get loaded as soon as I am done here. I will make a note in the description of what these products are, but you won't be able to order them. They won't be listed. I'll have to go back in and update after they're available to order. But awesome products, again. I think you'd really like them. I was drawn to this. So what I'm going to do, let me talk through first what my measurements are. So I've started with a basic white thick cardstock base, so 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. And then I've got 2 pieces of basic white. You could use the thick if that's all you have, but this is just the basic white. This one's just a little shy of what I normally is. It is a 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then I have, and I bet you I put this on the other side and don't have it listed here. I will have those measurements for you because I have it written down but not here. The Misty Moonlight that goes behind, that's our typical 5 1/4 by 4 so that it layers. And then I have a piece of that beautiful Designer Series paper, 2.5 by 4 1/4. And again, these 2 pieces are I will have the measurements, but I don't have them here. And then just a scrap piece of some cloud cover to cut out those beautiful doves out of the die set. So let me get this out of the way and get at it. And what I'm going to do a little different is I am going to run this middle piece, this piece of basic white, through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and using that beautiful embossing folder. So I'm going to line this piece up and just make sure that I'm centered over this center piece. It's not difficult at all. I just want to make sure I'm lined up. So kind of squeeze in here. The big deal for me is just that everything is centered, and I think I'm pretty close. Not quite. Need to come back just a teeny bit. It'd probably be close enough, but line it up here. Close enough. Okay, so then I'm going to get out my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You do need the large machine to put our dies, these through. We have some small ones that you can certainly do the other way, but I'm going to line it up. You always want to make sure that the fold is going through the machine, so it goes in first. And then I'm using a 4, so I've got plate 1, my folder with my paper in it, and number 4. And then I'm going to roll it through. It should pop out the other end. There we go. Slide it here, and then we'll get this out of the way. All right, so then I've got a beautiful embossed piece, which I thought would be really pretty. I'll show you the one I had done earlier when we're done. So I'm going to take and layer it onto my piece of Misty Moonlight. Line up here. And it gives just a slight edge on it, just sets it off a little bit from the white when it's layered. Like so. Then I'll go ahead and fold my cardstock in half. I've already scored it at 4 1/4. I'm going to grab out my bone folder so that I can get a nice crisp edge. And then this will get layered right on top. I said this is a very simple layout, but it is a duplicatable one, which is kind of nice. So when you're wanting to make some simple cards. It's good to have something in your pocket that is easy to put together, especially on the fly. And I am in need of a couple sympathy cards. I've had some situations that have happened in my circle of friends. So what I'm going to do on this particular one, because I'm going in a horizontal layout, I'm going to put this down in the center. So I'm going to kind of line it up, and it's going to go over all of this. And so I'm going to, again, grab out my Stampin' seal, get a nice thick area, and I want to make sure it stays down. So I'm going to line it up here, right in the middle, and make sure that I'm along the edge. So, pretty close, like that. And then I've got my greeting that I want to work on. And so I'm going to get out. I decided to use the heartfelt prayers. You could use one of the other greetings that are in this set for the front, but I liked how it filled the space nicely. So I'm going to ink up using Misty Moonlight ink. So it's very simple colors. I'm going to come in the center and come like so. Lift it off. I will definitely clean that in a little bit. But you always want to make sure to clean your stamps after you've used them. So then I'm going to put just a little Stampin' seal. If you're a fan of multi-purpose liquid glue, that works really well as well. But for me, I love the tape runner. So just a nice layer. Isn't that pretty how that works? The die set in this is just awesome. So then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. Pardon my microphone having an issue there. Okay, so I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. And I decided I kind of liked 4 of them. Don't need more than that. Could probably have fewer than that. I'm going to press those. They're going to go right in the center, which covers this section right here. You'll kind of see it here in the screen. This part here is the same dimensions as the layer, or at least it's, well, it's not quite. It's very similar. There we go. It has a nice inset. Actually, it's just shy of it, which is perfect. So then I've got some beautiful embossing. You can probably see it a little better if I get it closer to the camera. See that beautiful embossing there. Then I'm going to take my doves, and what I want to do is I want to bling them up a little bit. So I've got my Winka Stella in here, and I'm going to just put a little bit along the dove. And you could choose to have done it in glimmer paper, but I didn't want it to be quite that glimmery. But I thought it'd be really pretty to just cover the whole dove. And so I'm going to do that on both of these. What it works is it's a little dark to begin with, and then as the Winka Stella dries, all you're left with is the glitter. And so it's a real light shimmer versus the glimmer paper, which would be a lot heavier of a glimmer. So whichever preference you have, and maybe you don't want any glimmer on yours. I just thought it kind of set it off in a nice subtle kind of way. So then I'm going to turn them over. It dries real quick. Turn it over, and I'm going to put dimensionals. I want a couple on the wings of the widespread dove. And then I'm going to put one here and one over here. And we'll see if I did that where I want them. So what I did is I took this lower one and put it down on this corner. So it's just at the base. Might lift it so it lifts up a little bit more. So flying along on this end, and then I want one on the top end. And I had determined for me that I didn't want, I didn't really want any embellishments on this. You could choose to do some embellishments. I am just choosing not to. So I want one up at the top, like so. And then on the inside, I would stamp the with deepest sympathy, or I could choose to have a different greeting. I just think that would be really, really pretty. So I'll show you the card I had done previously, which is much simpler because I didn't do the embossing on it. And so it kind of gives you an idea of what that might look like. And I only did some Wink Estella along the edges of the wings, which you might be able to pick up on. So those were the cards I had done with this particular set. Then I played around really quickly, actually, with one using a suite of products that's coming in the online exclusives the beginning of July. And so this is the Charming Day. I just got these products yesterday and just played with it really quick to kind of show that it's the same layout. I pulled this a little higher, and I've done some stamping and die cutting of the flowers. I used a die from the Textured Notes suite, which is also an online exclusive. And it comes with a stamp set, Charming Day stamp set. It is a red rubber stamp set, as well as a die set that has a lot of very detailed images, as well as ones that will cut out, which is what I used here. That will be available again to be ordered July 1st, unless you sign up to become a demonstrator, and then you can always choose things that demonstrators are able to pre-order in your starter kit. And then there are some dies. They're called Charming Shimmer Facet dies. I believe this is Berry Burst, Misty Moonlight, or it could be Secret Sky or Secret Sea. I'm not positive of that. And then this is Petal Pink. And then I've got the paper sitting right here. And I will show you the paper. It is really, really pretty. So I'll pull out the full sheet. This is what I had used. This is the back side. And we'll go through that on this set really quick. So pull them up. So you've got a really pretty floral, then some pretty peacock. You just set them off this way. It'd be a whole lot easier than doing it in another way. So then pretty with some purples. Backside of is Berry Burst. And you've got a really pretty leaf pattern. It coordinates with some Timid Tiger. Then, actually it works fine. We'll pull this one out. Is that one? Nope, I think I have one more, but maybe not. Yeah, that's the one we just did, so that's one I'm using right now. And then this with a really pretty Misty Moonlight. And I believe that's all of those. Those are super pretty, and my understanding is that this suite coordinates with the June Paper Pumpkin kit. So the one that will come to you, is that June or is that July's? Might be June's that has already come. So pretty fun, definitely something you might be wanting to think about. So I'm going to go ahead and, I can't flip a camera, I could, but you don't want to see it. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. You can find my website, justalittlink.stampinup.net. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would so appreciate that. And if you aren't following me on Facebook, I'd also appreciate that. I love your comments. I'd love to see what you think. And please like and share, and I will look forward to seeing you next Thursday, 2 p.m. Hopefully by then we have a camera fixed. Have a great day.